Hey guys, this is Rick with Old Souls and good morning. So I finally lucked up and I was able to, after a long time, I was able to get the TS75 track stall from Festool. So this thing, like I said, I've been really excited about this. It's taken a long time, but it was between this and a full-size table saw for the shop, and between this and that, this definitely takes up a whole lot less of an imprint here in my small shop. The size table saw that I'm needing to where I could make say 10 or 15 foot rips on a nice basis. That would take up a lot of area in this shop. But with this guy, I can set up and then work my piece and then be able to put all this back up. So what this is today is an initial thoughts review. I haven't used my new saw yet. Still in a little bit of sticker shock. Still got the brand new paint on it. But what we have here is we have my old Makita. Now I'll probably have four skill saws throughout the shop. I have bigger saws for the ripping of beams and big dining tables, and I have the smaller skill saws. I use a straight edge on these to be able to get my cuts, but they're always a little off. I mean, they're only you always have a little bit of walk in those. So on my say waterfall joints and things, that's an issue because you spend a lot of time trying to get that joint perfect. So so with this, I'm really hoping that all that will be able to be overcame, and I'll be able to straight edge and dimension lumber. Say right now, I've got 12 feet of track, so I can dimension up to 12 feet of anything, and I can get accessory tracking to go on top of it. So we'll start out today with the prices on it. So like I said, it took me a little while to get this, and if you decide to go with one, you're definitely going to be in a little bit of sticker shock. I think that this one right here is around 850 by itself. I know that there's different deals and such. I think that may offer one section of track. Uh, so what I did is I opted to put back the smaller section, and I went with two sections of the 6 foot track. I think that it came with one 4 foot, I believe, something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but like I said, I opted to put that back and get some larger tracking for it. That way, I can take these handy dandy connectors right here and connect these pieces together and join for longer tracking when I need it. So the total on this, like I said, it was a little bit high. These trackings each are about $385, I believe. The saw itself is around 850, and then with the reduction off the tracking, I think they took $100 off for it. These awesome little quick connects for being able to clamp it to your workpiece. I believe they're about $40 each. And I can't remember what these little connections were. Maybe 20. We got those tossed in at the end. I was a little bit excited at that point. So with my Makita, years ago I paid $300 for this, and like I said, I still use it. I mean, I used it just a couple days ago. It's an awesome saw, and it's still got a place here in the shop. It's definitely not just going to sit there and collect dust. I will probably use it for the rougher stuff, the barnwood, things like that. On sites, we've got the loaner. You know, everybody has a loaner tool. You know, so I've got that here for that. But there's definitely a big price difference in those two. With that, I've mounted that to straight edges, bore guides, and things like that. And it served me really well. I've done some really fantastic pieces over the years, and like I said, it really has done well. But with this one, I'm hoping to just be able to quicken my pace and create a piece that is absolutely perfect every time without any rework at all. So it comes in this handy dandy sustainer right here that you can put your tool in. I mean, it's just a carrying case, but it's a little bit neater than most, I guess. You can stack them and lock them, put them on top of the vacuum system and all that. Uh, so for this, there's a lot of different little things that this does. This has the dust port that swivels all the way around, which will be handy when you're hooking up to your vacuum system to stay out of your way. Like I wasn't able to get the Festool dust extraction system, but I have another over here that I can fabricate to fit it, of course. You know, so we've with this piece, it's got this awesome kickback right here for your plunge cutting. Okay, so it mounts right here, and you can take and slide this up. And when you're going to be doing a plunge cut with the piece, it stops you from any kickback farther than what you want, which is really awesome. So uh, in this, we have all of these trackings. There is a sacrificial guard on this piece. So with this tracking, there is a splinter guard all the way down this track, and that's gonna stop any tear out and such. Hopefully for the piece to where there'll be a lot less sanding, everything will be more finished product at the end. So this splinter guard that runs along the interior edge of this right now protrudes, and it's sacrificial at the moment. So when I make my first plunge cut, it will cut that sacrificial guard to the side of this tracking. And what that is basically a zero clearance, like a table saw, and it's going to allow, like I said, for no tear out, no splintering or anything like that. And it's dictated by the blade that goes on it. So we definitely want to be using the correct blade when we make that first plunge cut. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this. Most of it is highlighted in green for what you're going to be doing with the piece. It sets on this track, and there's really easy slide in this. I mean, it just sits right down in. So there's these clamps or these tightening knobs right here, and you can tighten and adjust for if you want less or more resistance on your push piece. So if you want to go a little bit slower, you can add a little bit more resistance and a little bit harder to push. See? Or you can tighten out, or you can loosen up. I got the one. There we go. And then you can give the resistance a little bit of change. So in the piece, it's the same as a lot of others with the 45-degree angle and such as that. This one is a little bit easier to handle, and it's got a double lock, which I like. And got the easy gauge right here for you to tell all of your individual cuts. The reason that I went with the 75 over the 55 is really just the depth. I need to be able to, with my dining pieces, I need to be able to cut on average about a 2-inch thick piece at finish. This allows me on a 90-degree plunge cut, I can cut 2 15/16, I believe, and then on a 45-degree angle, which is going to be my waterfall joints and such, that will allow me to cut 2 inches, and that's generally my finished product depth. So I can get it planed out and everything, and then I'll be able to cut that just through it if I do, say, 1 15/16, and that will work out for me really well. So in this, you have a really nice starting system in this, where it's just going to be raising this little button to begin your plunge. And see, I can't of course plunge because it's my sacrificial piece hasn't been made yet, but as you can see, really nice smooth operation. There is a pinch guard on the back of that blade that goes through with it, which will allow for less pinching. I'm really excited about that. I generally clamp off or add an old chisel in the back to where I won't get a lot of pinching. So you have the easy release right here. You also have what's called a fast fix, and that's just an automatic piece to where it'll go down and lock. Okay. And that's really neat. You also have, and I like this right here, is you have this depth change, which you can go in and change any of your depth cuts simply by this cut right here, which I really like. You can just go in and change it to 1.5 inches, or you can go down to 2 inches, whatever your depth is going to be made. And then once you have that, then as you can see, right now we're set at 2 inches. So it's going to go down just to 2 inches, and it's going to stop, which really is nice that way. It's going to save me, everything is going to save a little bit more time in my shop simply by, I don't have to flip it over and gauge it to a block or gauge it with a tape measure anymore. It'll just be able to be depth set through there. It also, on the bottom of these trackings is polypropylene. I'm not 100% sure, but neoprene, like I said, I'm not really familiar with what those names are, but this is a really non-skid surface right here. So once you set this down, I don't feel like you're going to need the clamps very often. I feel like this is a really non-skid surface, so it's going to work out really well. But there's a little bit of weight difference in the two saws, not by much, about a pound and a half. I think this one's 13.9 and that one's just over 15 pounds. But really, to be honest, lifting's not even going to be an issue since you are now sitting on your track. So weight isn't even really an issue anymore. And then it also has a secondary splinter guard, which can be mounted on the interior of the saw. Once your sacrificial plunge cut has been made, you can take this guy and mount it right here. And what that's going to do is add a secondary splinter guard on the outside of your blade, which is really nice. And all of these things I haven't had in the past, so I'm hoping for some really good pieces from this. But anyway, guys, like I said, I haven't used this saw yet. These are all just initial thoughts on the saw, you know, things that I'm noticing, and I think that this is going to be a really good addition to my shop. I'll probably go through and do a second review on it here in a couple weeks once I've worked with it a little bit and see if it works as good as it looks. But anyway, guys, if you have any questions on this or answers, you know, like I said, I'm brand new to this one, so if anybody has some of these, you know, feel free to give some tips and pointers on this piece. Like I said, we just wanted to throw a little bit out there of what we see on the saw and what we hope to see it perform with us. So anyway, guys, we'll talk to you later. All right, see ya.